crying by yourself.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of The Taste of Whiskey. Today's a beautiful spring day, nice and warm outside. It's perfect weather to enjoy some nice bourbon. And with me, I have some excellent bourbon, Blue Note. Now this is from Memphis, Tennessee. This is a straight bourbon whiskey. And what that means is, in order for your whiskey to be called straight bourbon, it has to follow certain stipulations, legal stipulations. It has to be at least 51% corn. It has to be distilled at no more than 160 proof. It has to be barreled at no more than 125 proof. And it has to be aged in new charred white oak barrels for a minimum of 2 years. And it has to be made in America. So I just realized that my video file was corrupt after I made the video, so I have to reshoot this part again. Technology, eh? Anyway, this is a 9-year-old bourbon. That means that the youngest whiskeys used in this blend are 9 years old at a minimum. I like bourbons around this age because that's where I feel that the most that sugary caramel character comes out. And like the peak of the flavor profile that I like is around this age, 8 to 10 years old to 12. Anything older than that, I find that it gets too woody and too bitter. And younger bourbons, they're too grainy for me. You really get more of the taste of the grain they use in the mash, and they're kind of spicy and peppery, which is not so much my taste. What's also special about this bourbon is that this is a special hand selection cask that a local merchant picked for themselves, called Whisky Mentors. And this is called Skip the Note, which is a nice name for the theme that this represents. Now this is bottled at 125.9 proof. That's 62.95% alcohol. Now that's not typical of the expression that Blue Note puts out, but usually when people pick out their own casks to bottle themselves, they'll bottle it at cask strength. And I love cask strength bourbons because there's just a really strong, robust flavor and aroma that comes out of them. But you got to be careful because these really aren't meant for everyone to drink. There's a lot of high alcohol, and if you're not used to that, it can really burn your nostrils when you nose it, or really just shock you when you take a sip of it. And just be cautious when you drink these because it's going to hit you hard. Now typically these bourbons aren't meant to be just thrown back like a cowboy at a party. These are really meant to sip and savor slowly over time, a drop at a time, because the flavors are just so intense, and you got to take it easy with that alcohol. But they're usually really delicious, and you won't get anything like it from other bourbons until you get a cask strength version. They're just really incredible. Lots of nice candy notes on this. Nice caramel, that nice charred oak wood smell. It's really prominent in this. It's for me, I'm tolerant. It doesn't really burn me so much when I nose it. But what I recommend that if you're new to this, try inhaling through your nose and your mouth at the same time. That actually helps reduce the amount of alcohol vapors that go into your nose, and it actually helps bring out a lot more aroma from the glass. Caramel and vanilla. It just smells really nice, like very perfumey. Let's give this a taste. Wow. Really rich. Nice thick flavor. Whew. A little hot. But for this type of proof, it's decently smooth. It's very enjoyable, especially if you like cask strength whiskeys like this. The flavors are great. Rich dark sugar. The caramel's there. This is very dessert-like. I mean, it's sweet, but it's not too sweet where you'd be sick of it. It's beautiful on its own, like a nice after dinner drink. Although you could have this with dinner or a nice cigar. This is something that would be very complementary to something else. Oh yeah, that's rich. Yeah, this is I mean, I love cask strength bourbons, especially when a store picks it out themselves. That way you can really get a sense of what kind of flavor profile that they like. Because every whiskey's different. I mean, this comes from a single cask, so every cask is going to have its own unique character, its own flavor. So it's really fun to buy special select whiskeys when you can, if you ever see them in the store. I'd like to thank you for joining me on this episode of The Taste of Whiskey. Please join me next time for another special dram. Cheers to you.